What's good, folks? Y'all know what time it is, man. Pop up boys, doing a due diligence, man, and we're gonna bring y'all some Atlanta Hawks news. Yeah, we got all
Mm-hmm.
three teams in the background because that's what we represent. I keep the Atlanta jersey, Pistol Pete Maravich jersey on
Ooh, not the Pistol Pete.
backstage, Pistol Pete. But look, I'm old school, y'all know that. But we're gonna talk right quick about some Hawks news, man. Asa Newell was introduced to the Atlanta family. We're gonna talk about a signing the Hawks just made yesterday, and we're gonna give y'all our thoughts on some free agents or some trade ideas that
Oh yeah.
the Hawks could use for that. See, I'm always in football mode. The Hawks could possibly look into making deals with that $25 million exception.
We
It
still
doesn't sound
got
like
it,
a
baby.
lot of money, but to me, yeah, that 25 million makes a boatload of difference. But y'all know how
Man.
we do, man. Before we get started, man, tell the people what's up.
Hey man, y'all know what's going on, man. DSGB. 'Cause that's what we got, man. Asa Newell, the newest member of our Atlanta Hawks. Of course, for those who don't know, we're just quick recap. We did trade our 13th pick. It goes 10 steps back, and we still end up getting the guy that we wanted, the Atlanta Hawks. They were looking at Asa Newell, and it's the great thing because you got to unprotected first. And it's
Boy,
just like so it's just like it's almost like it didn't even matter who you took at 23 because you already got a first to compensate already. But the Hawks were still able to get that unprotected and get the guy that they wanted. So that's already an A+ in my book. But hey,
agreed.
man, we're gonna definitely get into it, man. But we got some breaking news too.
Looks like it's gonna be a family affair on the team, man. Look,
Yes, sir.
if Jalen Johnson signed familiar to y'all, guess what? He got a brother named Kobe. Yes,
Yeah.
like in Kobe Bryant, Kobe Johnson signed a contract with the Atlanta Hawks, man. And for y'all that don't know him, he's a 6'5" wing. He can play anywhere from the 1 to the 3. He's one of those defensive specialists.
Right.
The guy that we look for is guys like Patrick Beverly, guys like Draymond Green. And this is not a bad thing because it took Draymond Green a long time to develop a jump shot. But these
Right.
type people are people you need just in case you need to play the catch up role. And what I mean by that, you fall behind and you need some kind of pick me up, some steals, some block shots, some quick rebounds to run the floor. This is your type guy. So this is not a bad thing. Yes, he's only 6'5", but like I said, he can guard three
Hey,
different
he's a
positions.
he's a smaller
But
he's a smaller version of Jalen.
but
Said
you
I
got
mean,
a little bit more info on the contract situation.
yeah, man, it's an exhibit 10 deal, and just like how in football we have like the training camp deals, this would be considered what that is, but NBA wise, the exhibit 10, and it's a non-guaranteed 1 year deal that can be converted to a two-way contract. It's all on the team's discretion. So it just all depends on what happens, how good he does. But one good thing about this young man is like he plays defense, and that's something that we want. He can play the 1 to the 3, and he like I said, he was 3-time All Defensive Team member, and that was in the Pac-12 and in the Big Ten. So he has that capability to possibly come in and make the team as another defensive guy. Of course, we got Zachary Ricochet. We have Dyson Daniels, who's definitely the defensive specialist of the team. But this guy right here can come in and play some defense. And, like I said, depends on what happened. He could make the team and could have a family affair in Atlanta.
Right, right. And it's each one teach one. Because
Hmm.
if he gets around Dyson Daniels, man, look, he can teach him the ins and the outs, and that could work.
It's
But
it's so
these
funny
type
that
moves
you
are needed.
said Dyson
Go ahead,
Daniels.
go ahead, go ahead,
No,
go ahead.
because like when you just said about
I know where
Dyson
you're going.
Daniels,
I know where you're going, but
you
go
know
ahead.
where I'm going with this, man. We got an unprotected first round next year. We do have the pick swap next year, but we still do have where we're pretty much we're going to be swapping with the Spurs. But
Right.
there's another Daniels that is coming out next year, and there's a possibility, depending on how the season falls, the Atlanta Hawks could have a draft pick to go get Dash Daniels, who is the younger brother of Dyson. So it's just like it's so many. Oh, and then also you may have Jacob Wilkins coming out, the son of Dominique. So it's so many different ways
Man,
you possibly can go with the Atlanta Hawks, man. Of course, being an athletic team, of course, being a team that can get up and down the floor. If you notice, we are like pulling in guys who can kind of fit the pace as well, as the Hawks were one of the top teams with the pace last year. So it's a lot of different things. You just got to pay attention to what's going on. But the Hawks still can go any different way they want to do. But we're going to see, man. Kobe Johnson to the Atlanta Hawks.
And one thing about that contract, I think what it's going to come down to how he performs in summer league. Summer league
Right.
is more important than a lot of people think about. That gets a lot of guys contracts. Not if it's on the team that signed a contract with. It could be other teams and scouts at those games looking at players and looking how they can come in and help. So yeah, you could have the Johnson boys, could have Daniels boys, and you could have another Wilkins in Atlanta. I would love to see it because Jacob Williams, his leaping ability, it to me, it's gonna be better than his pops. This dude can damn near touch the top of the backboard. His athletic prowess, but he's what about 6? He's about the same height, about 6'8", 6'9", somewhere in there. So yeah, he would be another one of Kevin Garnett / Sean Kemp type players with that stupid leaping ability. So we'll see how that turns out, man. But yeah, Kobe Johnson signs with the Atlanta Hawks, and
And
pretty
quick
happy
thing
about it.
too,
Go
we
ahead.
don't have to dive in deep into it, but
Okay, go
the
ahead.
Hawks also made 2 other signings as well. I know they went and got a kid from Real Madrid. Name is
Right,
slipping me
right,
right
right,
now because
right.
unfortunately for me, I do not have his name in front of me. Really
I can't
feeling bad
pronounce it,
about
so I'm
that.
not gonna even try.
See, man, that's what I'm saying. But he is from Real Madrid. When I looked at him, he kind of reminds me of a guard type Moji in a way. But we're gonna see what happens with him. But I do have this name in front of me, and like I said, and I apologize to him as well. Like if I'm gonna make sure I have that situated next time. But and also we have guard Lamont Butler from Kentucky, and for those, what I'm saying, who know about college basketball and know about who I like in college basketball, for a long time I was a Kentucky fan, John Calipari, etc.,
Right.
like that. So got a soft spot for Kentucky players, man. So Lamont Butler is also on a 2-way contract. So really all the 2-way spots are now filled already. So Onsi Saleh is moving. He's getting things locked up so it can be, behind us and we can
But
focus
but
on
but as,
really
as
seeing better.
GMs, as a GM, you're supposed to move quick. You're supposed to get everything that you've been looking for, get
Who
it
knew?
in, get it in place. So you can work out the wrinkles quick as you can, and come up with the right team. But we all know in today's NBA, and shout out to my boy, let's get it GA. I told him this.
Mm-hmm.
In today's NBA, man, you got to add depth and you got to add chemistry. You got to have chemistry. So if
Right,
you have both of those, and we seen in Oklahoma City, they built that team from the ground up. 2 years ago, they were 24 wins, one of the worst teams in the NBA. 2 years later, they win the finals. Why?
right,
Because they went out, made the right moves, got rid of the dead weight, went out and got their superstar player while he was young, developed him, and now they could have one of those teams to be messed with in the next 2 to 3 years. I could
right.
see them actually win another ring in the next 2 to 3 years. But
Hey,
hey, it happens.
it
But
happens. Hey, man, shout out to chat, man. We got a shout
oh
out to
yeah,
the chat.
chat. You go ahead. Shout out to Robert Blackman, man. What's good?
Salute.
Make Way Sports. What's good, man? Our
What it do? What it
big
do?
bro John Higgins. What's good, man? William Amy
What it do?
and
Will?
for my ATL movies. What's
Oh
good,
yeah,
man? He
that's
laughed.
T Will right there,
That's
man. T
T Will.
Will
Yeah, T
diving
Will
out
talk
into
about
different
movies.
avenues. What I'm saying? So yeah, man, for my ATL movies, that's where he breaks down different movies. And I know him and my buddy Jordan, they have a thing going on too. Where they're breaking down movies and everything like that. Really some good stuff. So I mean, if you want to take a step away from sports, when you want to talk about movies and shows, it's all this different stuff like that for my ATL movies. What I'm saying? T Will, he's on it.
I hope we can break down the Captain America Brave World because that shit had me scratching my head the whole time.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna get into it eventually. I think they're doing like the whole series, so eventually they're probably going to get to it.
But if y'all want to join StreamYard, man, y'all want to talk sports, use that link right there and get you linked up, and you'll get a $10 discount on me. So If y'all want to talk sports, go to StreamYard, sign up with that link, and talk sports. And
Yep.
hey, have fun. But we're gonna get into it right quick, man. Let's see. Look, he said he was kind of he had his scratching his head too.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. It
that was
yeah.
a lot of people like that
That's
move
one I
to
might
me.
even have to get in on because I've seen it and I was like,
What the hell? Oh man, Richie Rich, what's going on, my guy?
what's going on, Rich?
Kid Sonic said, "Do you think we can get a backup wing and guard like Westbrook to team because we need a leader to the second unit?" I'm gonna be real with you, Sonic. I think Cody Buffkin can lead the second unit.
Mm,
Honestly,
interesting.
if he develops enough this off season and what he's worked on, develop the jump shot, being consistent. He plays
Mhm.
decent defense, but if he's grown enough, I think he can roll with that second unit. But I think Russell Westbrook will probably stay on the West Coast somewhere. I think he could return to Denver, could return to the Clippers, or somewhere out there west. I think he's going to stay out that way.
Yeah, that's understandable. And then at the same time, right now with so much flexibility that Saleh has really created for the Atlanta Hawks, it's a lot of different ways we can go. It could be a Russell Wilson or Russell Westbrook, not Wilson Westbrook. It could be a Chris Paul because I
You think
seen
about
Trey
football
Chris
too?
Paul. Right. But you seen Chris Paul and Trey Young, so they were having a conversation in a summer event, and you never know. He possibly can come in and give you a season of leadership that would not only help Trey Young, but it definitely will help lead the second half, second unit. And you've seen, man, it's been so many times, man. Chris Paul, he just comes up big when they really would need him, So that can be an option. You also can have younger options. You have Tyus Jones out there and
Yeah.
you have this $25 million exception that you can use, so it's just it can
But
see the thing,
we gonna get into that too a little later. But we gonna talk
yeah,
about Asa Newell right quick.
yeah,
But yeah, we got something going with that $25 million exception because, like I said, that's a good piece of change to have in your back pocket. But Asa
hmm
Newell was he was introduced to Atlanta, and
right,
he talked about and Chris, we talked about it behind the scenes. He talked about coming back to his hometown,
yes,
having that Kyle Korver jersey, just being a fan, and to get drafted by his favorite team. I know it's going to help him perform. And I know
right,
you said it was somebody said he reminded them of John Collins. I
yeah,
could see that, and I could see that in a way. But he reminds me too of another guy that wasn't strong offensively, but defensively rebounding, and that's Derek Favors went to Georgia Tech.
mm,
Um, he reminds me a little bit of him, defensive wise and rebounding, but scoring wise, I can see John Collins because I think he can develop a shot from the wing. But you talk about a guy that gets out on fast breaks and runs the floor very well. I
hmm
think this is what Trey Young and the Hawks like to do. This is why he fits what they're trying to do. And then you bring in Porzingis. We talked about that the other day. This gives him a rest. This keeps him fresh and healthy. And Newell will probably start as a bench player because I think Jalen Johnson comes back and wins that fourth spot. Kongwu is at the 5, uh, Ricochet is at the 3, and Dyson and Trey in the backcourt. So I think the starting 5 pretty much set. So now they're adding depth and chemistry like we talked about. But what's your thought on Asa Newell right quick?
Well, I mean, the guy, first of all, he played in a SEC that was probably one of the strongest it has been in years. And to
Right.
be able to come in and put up the points that he was able to do, he was like 15-7. And what's good, family? He was 15-7. Now he made his living around that paint, and he's also a rim runner. He can get out in transition as well, and that's what I was saying earlier. Remember, one thing that we loved about Clint Capella, if there was one thing you can point out, it was the fact that Clint will run the floor. And if you're not running that floor, that's easy dunks for Clint Capella. We've seen that in
Right.
2021, a bit of 2022 as well, before he started kind of getting injuries and everything and missing games. But you still seeing that attribute, and you see this with him too. Again, the Atlanta Hawks, one of the top teams to play in pace. So Asa Newell will fit into that metric as well. He's got, like I said, he's a high energy guy, high motor, got that hustle. He has the defense and switchability. And if you notice what the Atlanta Hawks have been trying to do, they've been trying to get guys who can defend on the wing and be able to switch. Asa Newell can be able to fit into that. Now, he is a little shorter than what people thought because I know he's like 6'9".
Yeah,
I take with shoes
they
off and
they they had him listed at 6'11", and I knew that wasn't
yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, he still will be able to do damage. And he said today even himself, I was going to mention it, but he said it himself that he needs to, bulk up a little bit. So I'm happy to hear that though, because he already knows and he sees the landscape of the NBA, and he's like, in order for me to be able to compete, I'm gonna have to eat. I'm gonna have to
right.
get in the weight room and whatnot. But this
Well,
guy,
he making enough money now to eat.
yeah,
I
oh
tell you
yeah,
that. So
and
he
but
good.
his shooting confidence is growing as well. He's a 75% free throw shooter. That's not bad for his height. And I mean, because you look at Onyeka, he's a great free throw shooter. I don't think he gets enough credit for that. But the thing that will have to be worked on is the 3-point shooting. We know he's going to have to be that guy that's going to help space the floor at his position, playing the four, the backup four, and the baby five. And you look at it, bro. He shot like 29.2% from three, but he's coming to an organization that, for one, he wants to be there. And you know why I say that? Because other guys looking like they don't want to be at their organizations. But this is a
Ace
guy
Bailey.
that wants to be there. This is a guy that wants to be here. The Hawks, they wanted him. He wanted to play for the home team. I always want somebody that wants to play for my organizations. And that's a player, right? So he's going to come in motivated. Kyle Korver has, since he's been here, come back to the Hawks organization. He's helped everyone improve their shot, including DeJounte Murray, Yeko Okonwu. I believe Asa Newell is the next guy because he had that Kyle Korver jersey. You think Kyle's not going to take a special interest into that and try to get the best that he can out of him? I believe he will. Like I said, in the paint, he does damage. Outside of that, he really doesn't able to create his own shot. Like I already talked about the physicality. I've already talked about the 3-point shooting and just like the playmaking he has. Now, people talk about like the fact that he only has one assist and everything like that. He was only averaging one assist. But the thing about it is, you got to think about it. He wasn't in a situation to where he had to like pass like that. But when he did, he was able to make winning plays and everything like that as well. So the only thing he was doing was rim running. He didn't have to pass a lot. And we're going to make it easy for him here in Atlanta too, man. I believe this guy, he's going to be able to pair well. I believe to sit him down on down to College Park, depending on what happens in the offseason, we're bringing in more players. You can possibly send him down to College Park, man, because College Park is very underrated about how they develop guys. As you said it, I've said it, did wonders for Jalen Johnson. And I believe that this guy can be another guy that, so can get down there, get some burn, get some reps, and come back up here and dominate.
Yeah, I agree, man. They've been known to develop people's jump shot, and Kyle Korver is an added plus. Because if you remember, John Collins, he could shoot, but it wasn't until like his third year where he started getting comfortable shooting from the wing.
Right.
So Asa Newell could follow that same path, and I just feel like this was a home run pick. And you got to think, it funny thing is, the same thing that happened with the Falcons happened with the Hawks.
Right.
Falcons had someone sitting there at 15. They went out and got Jalen Johnson, but they were going back and forth between those guys.
Right.
Atlanta Hawks, they knew he was going to be on the board when they moved back 23. They wanted him at 13, but they said, hey, why not go get a first round pick, see what we can get with it? And
Right.
they moved back to number 23 and still got their guy. So
And remember, like Onsi said, well, I don't know if you've seen
go ahead.
the press conference, but Onsi Saleh said it himself. He was like, man, it was tough giving away that 13th pick because even though we felt good, there was no guarantee Asa would still be there. But they took that gamble, and it was the right gamble because now you have 2 first-round picks next year. Yes, one is a pick swap, but it's still going to be yours. And then you possibly
And
may have
that could be a lottery pick though.
I mean, well, for us, it all depends on how the Spurs do and how we do, because you know what I'm saying. Because if our pick is higher, of course they're going to swap and everything. But I'm worried about that most favorable between the Bucks, who lost Dame Lillard, questions about their roster up there in Milwaukee, and then you got the Pelicans. They don't know what's going to happen with Zion. They took Derek Queen. people are already jumping on them, saying this the worst moves ever been made, blah blah blah. So worst moves of this decade. Like so, the Pelicans they have enough
Hey,
problems.
they
They
just
need to get
traded
up on.
McCollum too, right?
Yeah,
So
McKellar, he is in
in
Washington now.
Washington. Yep.
You're right,
Yep.
right. And then they traded for Jordan Poole, correct?
Correct.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
But was that really an upgrade?
To be honest with you, at
I
this
don't
point,
think so.
especially after getting that unprotected, I don't care. So quite frankly, I just I just don't give a darn. I really want y'all to be bad, so we can be able to get that most favorable pick.
Right, right.
Hey, I'm just being honest here, man. I'm like I took the journalism off for a second, man. I'm being honest. I don't care what they do as long as they continue to lose and we can get that first overall pick to possibly in the top 10, possibly the top 5, and not even have to really work hard for it. I'm for it because
Yeah,
I'm all
agreed.
for it. It's time to start winning in Atlanta, and it's not just our football team, our basketball, baseball. I want all the right moves to be made, and it's so great because all this stuff is getting set up right now, and 2026 is going to be a better year for all Atlanta teams, baseball, football, and basketball. So I'm excited, man. I like just of course we
Yeah, I
all
think
still got to play.
the Braves just a couple of pitches from getting back to where they were. I mean, the hitting is up and down, but when you get back to dominant pitching, that wipes the rest of it out. But Mike, what's up, my guy?
What's good?
But right quick, man, there's still moves to be made, I think, and honestly, there could be more trades out there with that $25 million exception, and we really
Mm-hmm.
don't know which way they're gonna go. But honestly, it benefits this guy more than anybody because they've already made moves in the draft before the draft with two very good clutch trades. You talk about those multiple first round picks next year, so
Mm-hmm.
that could help you move around the board if you wanted to. And you could put up a deal if you land in the top 10. You can put up a deal to move up the board to the top 3. Who knows? But um,
No, that's true. That's
who
true.
I'm gonna
And
give you one person that I think that would be a nice fit in Atlanta, and
who
I've
you got?
been saying this for a couple of years. And he was a former Kentucky Wildcat as well.
I know
Malik
where you're going.
Malik Monk.
Mm,
65 games last year, started 45 of those, averaged 17 points a game, almost 4 rebounds, 5.6 assists, which means he can handle the ball as well. Nearly a steal a game. You talk about a guy that can shoot from the perimeter. Wasn't as good last year, but for his career, it's 35%. It was 32.5 last year. And that's pretty good in 31 minutes to average 17 points. So, and he won, I think, comeback player of the year a couple of years ago with the Kings. So he's on a new contract. Now, he just signed a new contract, but what the Kings are doing, um, I think, honestly, I could see Malik Monk being traded because,
mm,
like I said, when they got rid of Fox and shipped them off to San Antonio, that let me know that was a slight rebuild right there. We're getting rid of one of your key players, one of your better scorers. They still have some bonus to me. That's up in the air as well. So which way they go, I don't know, but I still think Malik Monk could be a name the Hawks could look at. And two, if you look at his salary, just signing that 4 year, nearly $80 million contract, he's running around that 20 range. What would you have to
right.
give up to get him? That I don't know. So that would be the only holdup. But as far as scoring, as far as being an offensive guy, he adds a scoring punch from the bench. Now that's another thing. If you
Okay.
trade from Elite Monk, where would he play? Dyson Daniels is a lock. I think Ricochet is a lock. So would you want to pay another $20 million for another backup player just like Porzingis, who's a $30 million backup?
Mm-hmm.
That's yet to be seen. But me,
Well,
honestly, I think if you can find a way to get him enough minutes to satisfy him, I just think Malik Monk would be a nice addition to this team, especially for the scoring punch.
I mean, like you just was saying, I mean about his fit and where he play. I mean, at the end of the day, Malik Monk, he's used to coming off the bench, so I would expect him to come off the bench on the second unit. I don't see him starting. I really wouldn't
Yeah,
see him starting.
but the only reason I said it, he got back to a starting role last year.
Right, right. He
Started
did. He did.
45 games. But
Right,
yeah,
he
go ahead.
did.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But at the same time, it wouldn't be that here. Yeah, he's definitely coming off the bench because honestly, I feel like that's what the best case scenario would be for him. But I'm gonna go. You know, I'm gonna go Alexander Walker, Nikhil Alexander Walker, man. I'm
Minnesota.
Mr. Null himself because for one thing, the Atlanta Hawks, they could possibly get him and not have to use that $25 million, it's an exception on Malik Monk. Maybe they can go another direction. Now Malik Monk is not a bad pickup, but the Hawks have the $25 million exception. Then remember, they also have a 13.1 player exception as well. That doesn't expire until February 6th. But they have that from the bogey trade. So they have two different player exceptions they can possibly use. Maybe use this one on Alexander Walker, bring him in. He's more so of a glue guy. But the thing I liked about it is last season he shot nearly 39% from three. And we need that. We need a guy like that to come in and be, like I said, that glue guy. Be like a 3-and-D, give you defense, give you 3-point shooting. Also, sometimes as a secondary ball handler, he's a shooting guard, so he definitely will be coming off the bench. But sometimes you maybe can run Dyson Daniels and him together on the floor together, and he can possibly, like I said, play that defensive role. You will be getting better defensively on the wing and just overall as a team. So with this guy coming in, especially now that you brought in Porzingis, you got Newell, you got Moji coming back. You have options. So I mean, Neil Alexander Walker would just be that would be perfect for me. Because again, it's not always about just finding that guy that can just, let's put up 20 points a night. Yes, those guys are important, but what about the others? So the guys that do things like Josh Hart does in New York, and like Alexander Walker did for Minnesota. I want guys like that can continue to come down here and be somebody on our team that can give you that night in and night out. Be like I said, that glue guy, not the star guy, but the guy that just makes timely plays and makes intelligent plays, and he can be able to shoot efficiently. So I'm going with Alexander Walker. I don't know what Smitty done went, but I'm still here. But yeah, I'm going Alexander Walker, y'all. Again, the $25 million exception. Also, you got to think about this. There's a possibility that Cam Johnson is still out there too. I know there was rumors that they wanted to trade Cam Johnson possibly and move up, and the Hawks were also surrounded with that too. So we'll see what happens, man. The Hawks have so many different options. This is the first time in a while the Hawks have been able to be in a situation to have options. And then you hear Onsi Saleh in his press conference talk about being optimal. And he's right. I mean, we do have options now. We are $30 million under the tax line. And that's the first time in quite some time. And that's even with absorbing the $30 million of KP. So I'm liking what Onsi Saleh is doing for the Atlanta Hawks. He's righting the wrongs. When you look at the draft as well, not just do we have the unprotected for next year and also our pick swap, but you look down the line outside of 2028, the Atlanta Hawks, they already have draft capital in each draft. And that's us recouping from the DeJounte Murray trade when we traded our 3 first-round picks for him. And so right now we're recouping, but we're doing the right moves. We're adding players. I believe that the Atlanta Hawks can, and the East is getting weak too, y'all. We got to think about that too. Tyrese Halliburton, he's not going to be there for the Pacers. How will they be able to navigate? You look at Dame Lillard. The Bucks, they traded a lot of assets for him, and he's probably not going to be back until maybe the second half of the season, late. And then you also look at Jason Tatum. He might miss the entire season as well. That's another reason why the Boston Celtics are trying to pivot. They went and got Anthony Simons. They went and got they traded us KP. And even though KP is on that inspiring contract, I believe if he stays healthy and contributes, you never know. Maybe he will get a small extension. We don't know that yet. But first things first with him, the biggest concern, as of course we talked about it before, me and Smitty, and we can talk about it now, the injuries. With the injuries, can this man stay healthy and be able to provide what the Atlanta Hawks need, because since 2021, the Atlanta Hawks have been suffering from injury after injury since our infamous Eastern Conference run. You know, when Trae Young went down, it just seemed like everything went down with it, and we've been trying to pick ourselves back up since then. And obviously, we were trying to do the same thing against the with Miami Heat, and that didn't work out either. Then that's when we get DeJounte Murray, trade off our first round picks, but now we are coming back around, just like Smitty Sports Machine. He's just come back around and everything. But hey, man, it's all good, man. I got your back, Smitty. I got your back.
Hey,
bro.
man. Hey, I had a quick emergency, man. I had to run and do something right quick. Got some housework going on, so I had to go out the door and do some directing. But I'm good. But Raymond, man, hey, I wish I did have a donut right about now. I'm telling you, boy, you might have me eat donuts for dinner.
Man, no donuts during the show. I'm talking about in the middle.
Hey, man,
you know how
donuts
he do.
Good anytime.
Yeah. Oh, shout out, man, and shout out to the chat, man. The Dixon Way don't popped up in here, man. Shout out to him, man. Larry, you already know he does his thing all the time with the commentary. Yes, I like Nall a lot. That's the first Nall that I'm with. Yes, and Onsi is definitely cooking, and yes, that optionality. That's what he wants, man. And honestly, I'm all for it.
Richard, we talked about that a little earlier. I actually like the move. I think it's a good defensive move if he can make the team. He's going to be a Patrick Beverly type guy, a guy that can come in, help you on defense, start some fast breaks, lock down key players on the opposite side of the court. So I wouldn't mind having another defensive guy like a Jaden Daniels. And I said with Jaden Daniels, I think him coming in and learning under Jaden Daniels can actually help his game. So that will help the Hawks tremendously to have two guys that can play defense. And honestly, man, I'm telling y'all, they focusing on their biggest weakness, and that is defense. So now that y'all see them going out
wing
adding wing defense. So if you go out, you see them going out adding wing defense, that's an absolute plus. And this is why, again, I see Malik Monk. You got to add that defensive presence, then you go in and add more scoring from the wing. So I mean, it's
we got options. I know some people are even saying, "Hey, man, trade for what's my man name that just got traded from the Rockets? You know,
Jalen Green.
Nah. I got the braids and he light skin. You know what I'm talking about, man. Stop playing.
Oh, Dylan Brooks.
There you go. But yeah, before people talking about bringing in Dylan Brooks, man, as well with the trade exception.
I can see that. I can
mean,
absolutely see that.
To be honest with you, he helped the Rockets a lot on both ends of the floor. I know. He's a knucklehead. But at the end of the day, I want a guy who can irritate the other team's players.
Chris, what do we always say about that, though? You need those guys with a couple of screws.
Those guys. Yes. Guys. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not arguably mad about it if we was to do something like that. But I do know that there is thank you, Dixon Way. There is a past history, and that's where I just don't know.
You're about to go into that. Yeah.
I was. But the thing about it, too, though, Trae Young is a more mature person now. I think Trae Young, for the betterment of the team,
he would suck it up.
Yeah,
he would suck it up.
Yeah, man, because at the end of the day, you got to be like an architect in this. And Trae Young has become a better leader. If for those who seen the press conference, yes, he was at Asa Newell's press conference, and Asa said he was the first player to call him. So
absolutely,
I love to hear that Trae is becoming even more of a leader. What would be a better leadership move than to be able to take on a guy like Dylan Brooks and be like, you know what? Yeah, we've had beef, but guess what? You on the team now. So all that whatever was going on in the past, let's get past that and let's go try to win a championship. You can say that about him, and you also can say that about a guy that we was talking about. Remember, you brought him up too, man, and he's down there in Phoenix.
Yeah. Ty Jones.
Shoot, him, but I'm talking about a guy that Trae has had problems with. I'm talking about also like Grayson Allen.
Right. Yeah, you talk about scoring from the wing. Oh yeah, he would be. This is what I feel like the Hawks need to do at this point, and they're doing a very good job of it, honestly, because I feel like when you look at it, they need a strong second unit, and that's what I meant about depth. You're bringing them elite Monk or Grayson Allen come off the bench. We seen what Kevin Herter could do in that playoff series before they traded him. If you can get another guy like that can shoot from the wing, hey, I mean, you cooking with fish grease because you got scoring and Trey Young, you got scoring and Richard Shea, Jalen Johnson. So now you mix that in with the second unit and possibly bring in more scoring. I feel like the Hawks could be cooking with grease. And just like my boy Let's Get It said, if they add the right pieces, this is no better than a number 4 seed in the East. And I
Oh man,
200% agree with that. I
man,
agree with that.
honestly, I'm really, depending on what happens, I'm really trying my best not to say top three. And I'm talking about that's the floor. But I mean, at the same time, I am a Hawks fan. So that's why I'm trying to dial it back a little bit. But I'm just seeing the moves being made and the space that we have available. The possibilities could be endless, not only this year, but moving forward into 26, 27. Atlanta could start being one of those places to where, hey, man, I'm going to go on down there, holler at them dirty birds in Atlanta. So it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
bro.
And Robert Blackman, to your point, Jordan was the one recruited Rodman. Yeah, he didn't like Rodman, but he recruited him to come to Chicago because he knew that they
Leadership.
needed more defense and more leadership. Because guess what? The Rockets team that won those previous 2 titles, that's exactly what they had. Drexler
Right.
Elijah one led that team. Vernon Maxwell, veterans like that. Robert Ory, that team was stacked. So they knew they had to get defense. Another defensive guy to go along with Pippen and Jordan. A defense
Right.
guy in Rodman to go in, do his job. And this is what I mean by a guy like
Championship experience too, bro. Don't
no,
forget
but a guy
about
like
that.
Kobe Johnson, who we just signed. This is why you just go out and get those guys that specifically do one
Mm-hmm.
job well. So when you find those guys, just like Dyson Daniels,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was like, "Man, who is this kid? You give up DeJounte Murray for this kid? What can he
Mm-hmm.
do?" He showed y'all exactly what could do.
Yep.
He played defense. That's what his specialty. And guess what? More
Most
fast break points.
improved.
Right. Should have been defensive player of the year, but that's another
Don't
conversation for another
let's
day.
not do it.
But yeah,
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 man, they,
but
they definitely cheated my guy out of that defensive player of the year. But most improved and could be most improved again. Would I want John Collins back? I actually wouldn't mind John Collins on this
I
team with
wouldn't mind.
with
Yeah.
all that, all this athleticism that we have and all this youth. He would definitely be coming back as the veteran. But I'm sorry, that contract don't fit into our player exception.
It
And
was somebody
honestly,
said the other day, I forgot who it was. It was on one of my feeds. I think it was
mm,
in my YouTube comments. 15 to
mm,
17 million, I would definitely think about it. But
yeah,
close
oh
to
yeah, if he
30
was like
million, oh
15
no,
million,
no,
oh yeah, if he was 15
no.
million, I'd probably been already on the horn about John Collins. But because again, we gave him that contract, and this is I think the final year of that. Of course, he opted into that. Why wouldn't he? And it doesn't fit into our trade exception anyway. So, I don't see John Collins being able to come back. I really don't. It's
Shout
a
out to my
we
boy. Let's get it, man.
yes,
He's
sir.
absolutely 200% correct. With the injuries in the East,
Wide
with
open.
Halliburton and Tatum out with Achilles injuries, and Dame, I think Dame has Achilles injury.
Yeah,
So
all of them, all three of
all
them
three
out.
of these with Achilles injuries, the East is definitely wide open. And you saw Indiana take advantage of that, making it all the way to the finals.
Yeah,
And
all three of
honestly,
them.
this is why
Rocket at zero.
things could still go in the right direction. Miles Turner is a free agent. If Miles Turner chooses to leave Indiana,
I don't
which I
think
don't think
so,
he
bro.
will,
Yeah, yeah.
the Hawks still have a shot at getting him as well. What would they have to give
It's
up?
been
And,
reported, but it hasn't
yeah,
been official that he's going to resign with the Pacers.
yeah, he's going to stay.
So
But I'm just
yeah,
saying, in general, these are the type moves that you have to make to be a contender. And the way Indiana grew last year, and I'm telling y'all, when we did not get Siakam, I knew him going to Indiana was going to be a problem. And that could have been Atlanta in the finals last week. So, I
yeah,
mean, it happens. But
yeah.
again, that's why I'm glad we got the GM we got because he's letting y'all know he gonna win no matter what, and he gonna do whatever it takes to bring a winning team to this city, and I love it. But
Man, something that we've been
yeah, I
needing.
agree.
Something that we've been needing. As long as he continues to, some as long as he continues to put the team first and put the right moves first, I believe, he will be here in Atlanta for quite some time. Yeah, Trent Jr. is, I believe, a free agent. I think Gary Trent Jr. I
Yeah,
think Gary
he is.
Payton Jr.
Yeah.
There's a few juniors out there.
Yeah, Alexander Walker, that's Chris guy, man. I think
Yeah,
that would
man.
be a very nice move. Yeah, Alexander Walker, he fits up on that $25 million cap as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if they made a move for him, I would not be mad. I like Malik Monk, Tyus Jones, Grayson Allen, those guys, because I just still feel like we need some scoring from the wing. We can get a Kevin Herter type player that can shoot lights out from three and get a perimeter shooter. We'll be good with that second unit. Because one thing about it, when you get Ricochet, when he keeps developing and his scoring goes up, I'm telling you, this team is going to be stacked and it's going to be fun to watch.
Right. No, I agree. I agree, man. We have a blueprint that we're building. I think honestly, they said Brooks, no, his behavior is not what we needed.
I
Hey
knew
man, he'll
somebody was
bring
going
some
to say it.
attitude for sure, man. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if we don't get him, I'm not mad at that. But I do want Alexander Walker. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I will take him because again, I believe he would be that glue guy that would just help out on the wing, help out behind it's in our first unit, being a part of that second unit coming in. And I wouldn't even mind bringing in Karis LeVert back as well to be another scorer, ball handler,
Slash
everything
defender,
just slash
slash solid
defender, all
defender.
that.
Right.
I'm
Shout
telling
out to
you,
We
man.
Talk Hawks TV, man. Y'all go check them out
Yes,
on YouTube.
sir. Shout
We
out to
Talk Hawks
Damon, man,
TV.
at the garage gang. Shout out to everybody, man.
They do
Hey
that
man,
thing, man.
yeah, man. Always check out my boys. We Talk Hawks. They have for those who don't know, they be having the panel, and like everybody be getting on the panel, saying their speak, saying their piece. Now at the end of the day, it's entertaining. At the end of the day, it's Hawks fans giving their opinion. I absolutely love the show. I always try to make sure I tap in with them, even if I can't get up on the stage, at the particular time. I always make sure I tap in with the guys. So yeah, shout out to We Talk Hawks TV and everybody over there.
Facts. But another quick good pop-up show, man. We went a little bit over at 42 minutes, but
Yeah.
we still thank y'all for tuning in, man, because we truly appreciate y'all. And we trying to keep doing these pop-ups, trying to keep it rolling. So we see topics in Atlanta sports, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna try to mix some Braves in, but Braves too inconsistent right now, so we'll be all over the place. But as far as off-season news with the Hawks, going forward, I'm gonna try to get more into basketball. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Football is my thing, and y'all know that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna keep this content rolling, man. But
Lil
soon,
Bro got his back though. Lil Bro.
But yeah, I know it. But soon, man, we actually gonna give y'all our wide receiver,
Wide receivers. Yeah.
training camp battles. I think gonna be interesting because the wide receiver room is loaded. So y'all stay tuned for that next week, and we will give y'all that. And as news break with the Falcons or the Hawks, we're gonna give y'all that as well. But you know what to do if you don't have any last words. You know what to do. Drop those credentials on social media.
Hey man, you already know A1 Forever Sports. That's the platform on YouTube. Been doing some revamping around A1 Forever, man. Trying to put more, let's say, long form videos, give more different opinions. Get back to the basics, really, like when I first started my channel, and having different topics and everything. So definitely getting back into that. Excited, So of course, YouTube gonna be YouTube, but I'm gonna keep on pumping them out. Pause. And I'm gonna continue, to pump out there, to bring out the content to you guys. And hey,
I do that.
I enjoy what I do, man. I really do. So it's not just for me; it's for the fans as well. Y'all guys keep coming back, so we definitely, so always have something to talk about. Yes, free agency actually, it starts late Sunday. Hey, man, that's what I'm saying, Mike. I had to pause. I did. But it's also, man, catch your boy. Catch your boy also on the Hawks Digest as well, man. Hey, that channel is growing, and ain't nothing, nobody but God. And you guys, coming over, and giving the support to the Hawks Digest. Just crossed. I think.
Hey, man, y'all.
You say you can't pre-pause the ball.
but y'all give my boy a shout out, man. He just last video just hit 7K, man. So y'all please go check out the Hawk Digest. He over there doing his damn thing, man. But yeah, Mike, you can't pre-pause. You can't. Hey, look, I thought I had it bad. I had to stop myself from saying it because I got to where it became on every episode. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Oh boy, I'm
Appreciate
crying, bro.
appreciate it, Mike. But man, y'all please go check out the Hot Digest, man. The latest video hit 7K, man. So y'all please go
Yeah,
check
it
that out.
did. It did.
As he get y'all his news on the Atlanta Hawks. But y'all know where to catch me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. NFC South Roundtable during the season, 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. Catch me on Twitter at fatboyslim_21, where I'm always blowing it up over there. But again, another pop-up show, another success.
Yes,
And
sir.
me and my boy Chris, we're gonna holler at y'all soon, man, because we got a feeling when that deadline, I'm sorry, when that free agency period hit at 12:50, 11:59 Sunday night.
Hey
I
man,
got a
may
feeling
be
there's gonna be
something.
some moves made. There's something cooking behind the scenes. Trust me, the Hawks are far from done. But we're gonna holler at y'all soon, man. Cause I'm hungry. I need my chicken wings or my donuts. See, Raymond, look what you done did.
Yep,
Uh
yep,
but
yep.
but we're gonna holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.
Peace.